Ladies and gentlemen, hello FlightSimmers, welcome back to the channel. We are once again back in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 and we are flying the KLM City Hopper today, the Embraer 190 on a short but rather special service since we are going from Amsterdam over to the famous London City Airport, which will be the first time ever on this channel that we fly into London City. I have of course been aware of this airport for a very long time. I never really got to buy the scenery for it because I mean the amount of flights going into London City are somewhat limited, and also the range of aircraft types going in there especially limited, since of course aircraft need to have this specific certification for the steep approach, which the Embraer has, and the Embraer is still an aircraft for the sim which needs a lot of development, but it is getting better. And yeah, so today we will give it a try, flying into London City on the steep approach, which will be a challenge, I can tell you that much. Yesterday I just did one brief test flight, and yeah, to be fair, it did not go that well. So I really hope today things are looking or ending up a bit better for us. But yeah, it should be a fun flight nevertheless, and yeah, looking beautiful. The good old Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. We have some AI traffic running around, since this aircraft is still not really up for flying on the network. So I still prefer to fly it offline at this point in time. And yeah, over at London City we'll actually have freeware. There was a pretty neat freeware available on flightsim.to. And as I've mentioned, I'm not going to use the airport a whole lot, so I figured I'd rather save the money for that scenery and go freeware for that airport. And yeah, so that's that. I am really looking forward to do the steep approach together with you guys. It's gonna be a challenge, but we will cross that bridge once we get there. And for now, let's get inside the beautiful Embraer. Right, here we are starting from cold and dark, simply because the aircraft sort of loaded up in this state, and I thought it's somewhat fun actually to switch it on together. So let's connect the GPU, and then we will start with the batteries 1 and 2. Now we're also getting a bit of sound in here, and then we will kick on the GPU, which is now in use. Emergency light to arm, non-smoking lights on, nav lights on, logo lights we don't need. It is midday. Hydraulic, I believe, is correct as it is. And then we can see some screens coming to life. It will need a bit more. Oh, that's not what I've been looking for. That's what I've been looking for. Bit more brightness on those screens, just like that. Then let's, yeah, you know what, let's actually start with loading up the airplane. I'm not using GSX because I feel like it is a little bit messing up the weights of this aircraft, so we're just gonna go without GSX boarding today. And now we need to set it up through here. Oh, we have some boarding music, that's fun. Right, so we are looking at a zero fuel weight of 35.8. .9.72. I think that looks good. And then we have a block fuel. Alternate, by the way, is coming back to Amsterdam, which I believe makes a whole lot of sense. Flight time today only going to be 39 minutes. It's a very, very short flight, just crossing the English Channel. Block fuel 3.54. So need to put in a bit of fuel. 3.57 is set. Right. That is that. Now going into the FMC, I do remember there's a somewhat specific way of setting this up. So we need to have our SimBrief flight number, which is KLM 987. Then we can request the flight plan. Flight plan received, but it's not in here yet. Now we need to go into, was it nav? Data link, flight plan, fly active. There we go. Cool. For the departure, we are departing runway 24, which is nice because it spares us a lot of taxiing instead of going out to 36 left. And then we will fly the Valco 3 Sierra. This one. And then we will look at the charts in just a second. Runway 27, it's gonna be the ILS for 27. Flying the Lafno 1 Juliet with the Xama Star, Xama 1 Charlie. Apply. Right, so let's start with the departure. Runway 24 on the Valco 3 Sierra, so straight out heading 237 Alpha Mike 001, Alpha Mike 051, Alpha Mike 009, 2500 above Valco, and then iterate, and then we are already over the English Channel. And then we will be coming in Xaman, Logan max 250, Jacko max 210, flight level 90, and from Jacko it is big RNAV routing, which takes us all the way down to Lima Charlie Echo 23, flight level 90, and then into Rafsa. Then we have specific altitudes to meet and speeds to Lafno, and from Lafno we will go on to the ILS 27, which right around here glides up 5.5 degree. That's for the famous steep approach. However, we will not fly this whole thing. UK especially is famous for the vectoring, so from Jacko I believe we will, if there's no traffic ahead of us, we will just go direct somewhere to intercept the final approach. And we will keep it as easy as that. Right, so that is dialed in. Now we need to go to performance in it. I'm not worrying about the fuel because it's anyway not exactly correct. We have a zero fuel weight of 3572. Fuel 3566, that is probably accurate right from the aircraft. Flight level 200. Cruise winds 277 at 17. Like this. Next page. As speeds are fine. Takeoff data set. Now we need to come here. Flight details. Import from SimBrief. Departure. Runway 24. Conditions dry. Flaps 1. Wind 207. 1039er. Calculate. Oh, there's even a GSX integration for boarding. I missed that yesterday, so maybe it would even work correctly, but anyhow, we are loaded up now. Now we can go to the manifest. We can either do it manually or we can send it to the MCU. But let's do it manually today. Just feel that's more accurate. So we have takeoff 1. Wait, where are we here? Yeah, takeoff 1. Okay, so no derate. I'm quite sure we could do a derate on this departure, but never mind. Takeoff 10. It's max takeoff power, right? Is it? Can we change that? Seems like a whole lot of power for me, but anyhow, let's go with it. Flaps 1. 0 enter. Goes to 35. Wonder why. Is it sort of a minimum temperature it can take? Okay, 35 then it is. Anti-ice off. Flex. Ah, that's where we can put it off, I assume. Okay, there we go. ECS on. Whatever ECS is. I would be lying if I said I knew. I do not know. FMS takeoff flap 1. Takeoff center of gravity 15.4, but I'm not sure if we can enter it here. Yeah, I'm not quite sure where. Okay, take off. 25, 29, 43. Seems like a big gap between VR and V2. And VFS is 183. Flap 1, takeoff pitch 11. Then we just need to remember to set the trim later on. Right, climb. 200 transition altitude. Amsterdam, is it 5,000? 3,000. Oh, come on. Cruise, descent, whatever it will be, 6,000 maybe in the UK. And landing we will set up later on. Alright, I think, let's see, cruise, descent, landing. Approach speeds, not needed right now. Takeoff, climb we have done. Yeah, I think we're looking good. Right, since this is set, altimeters are set as well, we will kick on the APU. Seatbelt signs are coming on as well. Now we need to set up our flight control panel. Initial heading 237. Oh, it takes a while. Getting there eventually. 237. Altitude. Let's make it easy. We'll go all the way to cruise. Flight level 200. We have the speeds FMS selected, which is good, and then we will just arm nav. So LNAV is armed. And that's that flight directors. Okay, not sure what's on and what's off. Then we have the beacons coming on. GPU is now available since we are on APU power, so we can go to ground services, GPU. Let's close the doors. We check inlet cover cones, safety pins, everything has to go. And then we can ask for it. Oh, it worked automatically. For whatever reason, nice. Let's go into radio. Transponder TARA.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
1,000. And over here we'll go to the flight plan page like that.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Oh, that is not working as intended. That looks better. Yeah, that's the profile I need. Alrighty, Now let's do some checklists. Before start checklist, pre-flight checks are completed. Fuel quantity is checked. We have 3.5 tons on board. MCDU set. Crew oxygen, let's call it checked. Altimeters are set. 1039er 3 times. Flight instruments are set. Passenger signs are on. Takeoff briefing completed. Seatbelts are checked. Takeoff performance set. Auto brake is not set. Needs to come RTO, of course. Trim can now go to whatever we need it. Manifest trim 2.0. We are 2.0 spot on. Let's go. So trim is set. Doors are closed. Beacons are on. Transponder is on. Parking credit is off. Right. From the outside, it is really looking beautiful, this aircraft. Let's fire up, which is a very simple process. Just putting it on like that. Oh, are we in reverse? Because it's announcing here, but no, we're not actually. For the map, it displays a lot initially, so let's nav 8s can come off, AirPods off. That's fine, and we can zoom in a little bit. 5
Please
minutes.
set parking brakes. Unlocking gear.
Okay, seems like these engines are doing. Oh no, there we go. Okay, that took a while. Not sure if that is the correct flow of the startup, but okay. Same procedure for number 2.
Tow track disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear, right is clear.
Hydraulic 3 low pressure. Is that because we now need to switch on the electric pump A? And I believe it should, yes, it disappeared. Nice. Right, we have to get engine start, so APU is coming off. Brake is set RTO, flaps will come position 1, trim has been set before. We can do a quick flight control check. Full left, full right, full up, full down, rudder, full left and full right. After start checklist, flaps are set position 1, APU's off, hydraulic system 3, electric pump A is on, flight controls are checked, taxi light coming on right now. Sorry, like this. Right, let's go. Park brake, and this should be a rather short taxi out to runway 24. So we just taxi straight ahead. We can turn left on Alpha. And then we will... I mean, technically we know we don't need full length, but I haven't calculated anything else. I'm just thinking of it right now. I could have used the sim brief takeoff calculation, of course. You know what? I will just run the calculation sim brief just because I'm curious what it gives us. So very interesting findings indeed. First of all, SimBrief is only giving us flap setting 2 or 4 for a departure. There's not even a flat setting 1 available. Also, it does give us a flex temperature of 45. Now let's switch the data a little bit. Takeoff init. Flex temperature should be on. Take off. And how do I get back there? Sometimes not quite sure. To make sure not to taxi too far now. Flex temperature on 45. Enter. Take off. Flap. Okay, interesting. I cannot even change it here. Maybe here? No. Okay. You know what, guys? Never mind. We will go now flex temperature 45. And we can take the next one to the right. That is surely sufficient runway for us. And then let's get back to the checklists. What do we need? Before takeoff, I assume. First of all, let's do the TO config.
Takeoff, okay.
Takeoff, okay. So, cabin is secure. Takeoff data is reviewed. A little bit messed up now, but let's call it reviewed. ACAS checked, no messages on here. Brake temperature should be fine. Takeoff config we've just tested, and all the lights coming on right now. Oh, I don't believe we can enter here, can we? Okay, let's take the next one. So, we are all ready to go. At least I believe so. Now we need to put on the auto thrust, or it's rather to arm it, so we see takeoff here, and then at a certain thrust lever position, the auto thrust will take over and take us to takeoff power. For the flight director, I am yet a little bit unsure if it's on or not. All right. Let's go to London. Haven't really checked for traffic now, but I believe we are lucky. Alright, power's coming in. That's the auto thrust taking over, takeoff power. And there we go. (82.9% N1) thrust hold.
8 knots.
80 knots, release pressure. 21, rotate. Now we need to pull it really... Oh, I can't. I'm full back. Why are we not lifting off?
Positive rate.
Positive rate, gears coming up. I was full aft on the stick. It's a little bit strange. Climb power. No, that feels like no power. This aircraft is killing me, man. Flight director. Flight level change. Okay, let's go autopilot. It's taking us all the way up there. Can I just go... Ah, good lord. Flaps up. Flying this aircraft is always a handful. How can I go back to... Oh, that's climb. Ah, that's the auto throttle. Speeds. Maybe I pushed it too far. That's why I needed... I pushed it to max. I think that's why it did not work any longer. Alright, are we on a stable climb now? I hope we are. After takeoff checklist, landing gear is up. APU is off, slats and flaps are up as well. After takeoff checklist completed. Little bit scary. But here we go, now we're looking good. Cool. Alright guys, just a very short cruise and then we shall take the steep approach into London City. See you in a bit. So welcome back, just after 28 minutes airtime, and let's look at the chart. It's a bit easier to see where we are with reference to the airport. So as mentioned from Jacko, I just went on a heading. We are now sort of heading into Gapki, descending down to 6,000 now, and then it's just straight in all the way to runway 27. Which of course is the steep approach. We still need to set up a few things. First of all, I wonder if we can try to take it direct somewhere. Not sure if the aircraft will cooperate in that sense. Let's try something like AdPev maybe. Okay, and nav, LNAV. Okay, could be worse, I believe. Could be worse. Right, we have the ILS frequency tune 111.15 and same over here. We have minimums of... Gosh, what is it? Category B or C? C, I suppose, right? 540. So let's set 540 in here. There we go. Go around altitude will be 2000. And then, very important, we need to come into here. Approach speed. Yeah, we will drop down to these speeds if we select flaps, which is quite nice. Landing needs to be flap full. Needs to be flap full in order for the steep approach. Runway heading is 272. 5 degrees, no clouds detected. Wind variable, oh no, sorry, 210 at 5. I think no. Right, flap full, these are the speeds. Into uptap, this is looking promising for the moment. Let's see, we can go down to 4000 now. So let's go 4000, flight level change. Descent checklist, lights and seatbelt signs are set. We can also go sterile flight deck now. Altimeters are set, 1038, yeah, that's correct. Auto brake is not set. Once again, I don't really have a calculator for it. Let's go medium. I think it should work just alright. Seatbelts are set. Approach briefing is completed. Alright. Yeah, so that's something I really hate. I mean, having no VNAV is one thing, and I don't really mind. I mean, it's kind of easy to get everywhere without VNAV. But having an autopilot which does stupid things, that's something I hate much more. So theoretically, this aircraft now features something they call like auto-tuning for the ILS frequency. It would automatically switch to the localizer if we were on LNAV, I believe, but since we're now on heading, we have to do it manually, which is okay. We will figure it out eventually. So let's go localizer 1. Yeah, we're a little bit to the left, but that's okay. Activate approach speeds. That's something we can do as well. 210. Alright, we can see the airport back there in the distance. Now let's get ready. We have 15 miles to run. Which is still a little bit. Flap 1. So the thing is, the steep approach, the way it works in the Embraer is quite fascinating, because we will have full flaps, and then on the final approach we will even have the speed brakes out a little bit, which is very cool. I will try to show it from the outside once we are on the final approach. Now we go approach, localizer is captured, and also we have to arm the steep approach, and now we can see it up there on the left. Once it captures on the glide slope, this will flash green, and it will let us know that it's then being sort of fully activated. And now I need to check altitudes. Yeah, we can descend down to 3000. Want to stay below the glide slope for the time being. 11 miles. Let's go flap 2. So of course now we're gonna be very early with setting up our landing config. And that's of course because we need to have that was a leg spike. We have to have a lot of drag once we hit the glide slope. But it is so incredibly beautiful. having London just straight ahead, essentially landing in the city center, which is, it's a bit mind-blowing, to be honest. Alright, we are showing it in amber. Which is something I am not sure if it's 100% correct, but since we have localizer captured, I think we are good for the time being. Okay, so we should see the glide stop indication coming in slowly. Let's go flap 3. Speed 150. Yeah, we are about to hit it. Let's go gear down. Flap 4. And now you can see we of course need a lot of power. Now we have a lot of drag out there already, having quite an attitude here in order to hold. Let's go flap 5. Glide slope captured. There we go. Now we can go flap full. And look at this. It looks so wrong. Looks way too steep, but that's the way to work. And now we should have the speed brakes out, the outer ones. Yeah, there we go. So it has the outer speed brakes up there in order to generate the drag, which is quite fascinating. Look at the scene. Nice. Alright, before landing checklist, flight attendants are notified, landing gear is down 3 green, flaps are set full, landing lights are on, you can say taxi lights as well. And now let's try our best. Still unsure why it is showing in amber. I think it should be green. But since everything seems to work, we are doing alright. Altitude for the go-round is 2000. Now let's do some flying. Power around 50%. My aircraft. Maybe it is beneficial for this one to actually use the HUD. Let's see. Yeah, quite a bit of wind, 80 knots from the left hand side. I'm not sure if the flight director is spot on. I think it will put us too high. We can try to follow it more closely. Coming in a little bit slow. Yeah, I think I would just go visual. Don't really trust the... Oh, there's an aircraft waiting to line up. Oh man, hold there, just a little bit longer.
Approaching minimums.
And then of course we need to pull quite early. Continue. At around 50 feet, I believe, we need to start the flare. Showing 3 red, 1 white.
200. 100.
Oh, that's scary.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Pulled it too early. Get down there. Oh, brutal. Reverse. Reverse diesel. Oh, I think that it's gonna be a gear check. Auto brake does not really do anything. So manual braking, idle forward. Ah, man, pulled it too early there. And I know why, because on yesterday's test flight I pulled it too late and I also crashed it into the ground. But of course the touchdown zone is also quite short. Oh man, that's a it's challenging. I think it needs a couple of goes before it works out smoothly, but yeah, at least we've made it. Should I even look up the touchdown rate, or I'm scared. 401. 401, which it could be worse. Is it the touchdown rate starting at the gear check at 400 or 500? Look at this. Nice. Yeah, so came in a bit hard. But yeah, it is fun. It's fun to fly it. I guess it just needs a whole lot of practice to nail it. Right, let's take care of a few things here. Strobe lights, APU, and then we will have stand. What is it? 6 coming up here. Let's take this one. Gate 6. Oh, do we park over there? No, I think usually they are here, right? Yeah, I think usually they are here. Okay, let's take number 4 then, because we've missed number 6. Change gate 4. No. Yeah, then we need to swing it around. Yeah, so as I've said, this is just a freeware scenery. Of course, the paver sceneries are much nicer, but I feel like it's one of these airfields which I'm going to use exactly once, so I might just save some money on it. Okay, how do I bring it around? There we go. It's just all the ground equipment in the way. Okay, not sure if this is going to work. Anyhow, but look at the skyline back there. How cool is that? And some time back they still had this special A318 flight out to New York, but I think I had to stop somewhere in Ireland going out there. But then on the way back it would come directly from JFK to London City, I believe. Okay, what? Wait. Okay, well, I'm just gonna leave. I think that's total nonsense. That is absolute nonsense in terms of parking. But it's where we will leave it today. Right. Off and off. I believe APU should kick in automatically. Request deboarding. Then we have beacons, taxi lights, seat belts, sterile, and then let's see, some more checklists maybe after landing. Lights, flaps are up, trim. I didn't really bother. APU started, shut down, transponder, chocks and brakes, engines, hydraulic pump through A. That's something we need to do. All right. Alright folks, so welcome to London City. Just seeing the company traffic is taxiing out back there. I mean, once the Embraer gets better, it would be kind of fun to actually do this flight a couple of times and actually get better at the steep approach. I think it really needs a whole lot of practice to get it right. Especially the flare, it's so different compared to like the normal 3-degree glide slope and flaring that one. But yeah, it's fun to have a challenge to fly something that's different compared to the usual stuff we are doing. And yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed it as well. And then For next video, I'm not quite sure what will be coming up. Of course, I can't wait for the Inibuilds A350 to release, but I guess this will be a few more weeks until we have it on our computers. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the year. There's a whole lot of good stuff coming our way, and I can't wait for it to happen. Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you on the next one. Take care, bye bye.